to the 6 o'clock show. It is time to step things up with my next guest. She's 1/5 of Steps, one of the UK's most famous pop bands. Claire Richards and the band have had 14 top 5 singles, 4 #1 albums, 22 million record sales, 500 million streams. But look, who's counting? I feel like I need to take a breath after saying all of that. And now there is a brand new musical based on all of their songs. Before we talk to Claire, let's have a look at this.
Everybody clap your hands, get on up and dance. We're gonna stomp all night now. Everybody move your feet, get up and feel the beat. We're gonna stomp all night now. We know you step where else right now. Let someone else know down. When I wipe the sorrow, need it too bad.
Wow, that was a snippet of Here and Now, the Steps musical, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Claire Richards from Steps. Claire, a massive welcome to the 6 o'clock show. Now, listen, tell us all about this brand new musical. I'm feeling all the feels. It is upbeat, it's vibrant, it's emotional, it's fabulous.
Yeah. It is. It's all of those things. This is something we've been working on for a very, very long time, and something we've all felt quite passionate about. And it is amazing that we finally got it on a stage and it's coming into theatres. But it's basically a really uplifting, heartwarming story about 4 friends who work in a seaside supermarket called Better Best Bargains, of course. And they kind of embark on their summer of love. So our main character is Kaz, and she seems to have all her life completely put together. She's about to adopt a child. She's been married for many years. And her friends, they all look up to her and kind of see her as having a perfect life. And they've all got a little part to their private life that they could probably improve. So Kaz sets out to challenge them just before her 50th birthday party. And it's kind of about the ups and downs of those stories. And then we find out that maybe Kaz's life isn't quite as perfect as it may seem, even to her surprise, as well as everybody else's. So you will laugh, you will cry, and you will leave the theatre dancing. 100%.
Sounds like quite the combo, and a journey of friendship as well, which we all love. Now, the band aren't in the musical, but just how much input did you have behind the scenes?
We've had a lot of input. I mean, this has been we started the whole creative process properly probably about 8 years ago now. So it's taken this long to get to what we have now. But we started talking about this many, many years ago, and something that we've always wanted to do, because we always felt like our music would lend itself to a story. And we've been right from the very start, finding the right story, finding the right correct writers and producers, and we got so far with one producer, and then that all came to a halt, and now we're with a producer called Royo, who have just flown with it. They understood the assignment completely and have just created this world that our music sits in, this amazing story. And I think it's better than any of us ever could have wished for, actually. But yeah, we've been involved right from the very start, and even down to choosing the colours of the costumes and approving set designs and all sorts. It's just, it's an amazing process. We've loved it.
I mean, I love it. These songs, they're like your babies, and especially you mentioned 8 years. You want to make sure everything is right, because it's your legacy also, in a way. Now, when it comes to choosing what songs feature in the musical, that must have been such a tough decision, because not all of them made it.
No, and I mean, there are some that are obvious and that had to be in there, like 5, 6, 7, 8 and Tragedy and One for Sorrow, and Deep Shade of Blue and Stomp. But then we've obviously got a second wave of material that we've been doing in the last few years. And we really kind of left those choices down to Sean Kitchener, who wrote the book and wrote the story. And he is very cleverly... There's no deep cuts in there. There's no real surprises and songs that people won't know. But he very, very cleverly has woven the songs that work lyrically with this story. So I mean, there might be might have been songs in there that we would have liked to have seen, but just didn't quite work. So we've been quite selective with it, but it was mostly down to him, I would say.
Listen, I'm sure the Steph's fans will be so happy. We just saw a snippet of a Britain's Got Talent performance with Steph's and the Here and Now cast. What was that like? Must have been so much fun on stage.
It was amazing, and it just felt huge. It really did. It's like kind of introducing it to a much wider audience and people that maybe don't know that this is what we're doing. They managed to transform the set into all the colours, and it was like the staff of Better Bargains was on the Britain's Got Talent stage on Saturday. It was great, and then we just came out and kind of tried to do them justice with their performance as well. But it was so much fun, and I think people really enjoyed it.
Oh, wow. I'm just looking at the outfits, the contrast of the outfit at the shop, the all black. It looks fantastic, Claire.
I know. It was so much. It was fun. And it was nice to just be able to join them on stage and do that with them.
Yeah.
Because obviously we don't do that in the musical, and we won't be doing that. So it was just nice to kind of go, here you go, everybody. This is what we've been working on, and hopefully it will entice people to come and see us, see the show rather, not us.
Now, when you think of Britain's Got Talent, you think obviously of Ant and Dec, and I hope you don't hate me for bringing this up, but I heard that you supported Ant and Dec when you were in a previous band. Walk me through this. What was this experience like?
So I was in a band before Steps when I was 18. I signed my first record deal, and it was called TSD. I did 2 tours with them, actually. The first tour was when they were still PJ and Duncan. And then the next tour they did, that's when they started calling themselves by their actual names and were Ant and Dec. And I can't remember which one it was, but on one of those tours, the Backstreet Boys were also one of the support acts. So it was quite a lineup.
I can only imagine. But while we're on the topic of throwing everything back, I want to take it back to 1997. That's obviously when Steps released their first song. Could you imagine the amount of success that you were about to embark on?
Do you know what? I honestly don't think we did. I always remember H was very confident. He was, 5, 6, 7, 8 was going to be #1, and we were going to have all the success. But I think you just never know. You never. And I had been in a band that hadn't really worked. It was where I feel like I gained my experience, but you just never know what the public are gonna take to and what they're gonna like. But I certainly don't think after that being our first single would we ever have guessed that 28 years later we're still here, we're still having #1 albums, we've got our own musical featuring our music. I don't think anybody could have predicted that. And I think from starting as what a lot of people thought was a novelty pop act would ever have thought we'd last 5 minutes. So it's nice to kind of still be sat here talking about the things that we're doing now. It's amazing.
What was the moment where you realised, OK, we're going to make it? This is huge.
I don't know, I'm not sure if there was a specific moment. I think it was when we'd had a couple of singles, and our management came to us and said, we think you can do a tour. And we put a tour on sale, and it sold out in like that. And we did something like 37 theatres in our first tour. And I think that was when we kind of went, oh, okay, this has got legs, I suppose. But I think One for Sorrow was probably the turning point, really, where it became a bit more, people started to see us as more as a band, as less of a novelty act.
Yeah, you were here to stay, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of being out on stage still, you had a busy weekend. You were at Birmingham Pride with Jake Shears from the Scissor Sisters. He's a friend of the show. We had him on a few weeks ago. How was the performance? Yeah. How was the whole weekend?
It was amazing. So I wasn't with him at Pride. I performed at Pride myself, and then I got in a car and I drove to the arena where the Scissor Sisters were playing, and I went on stage. They've been having guest singers come on to sing Take Your Mama with them, and they invited me to come and sing with them, which was very much a whirlwind, but it was incredible. I normally talk myself out of doing things like that, but it happened so quickly that I just went and did it, and I'm so glad I did, because it was fantastic. They are amazing, and everybody was so lovely, and everyone on that stage was, a dream. So,
and I suppose
yes, another little
Yeah.
Another little tick off the bucket list I didn't know I didn't know I'd written.
But listen, seeing you on stage, I mean, it's such a joy for fans still, especially after so many years. Is it still a point you need to make, to make sure you're out there and performing? I mean, it must be an incredible feeling you get being on stage with a live audience.
Yeah, there's nothing like it really. And I think if you are a performer and you this is what you do. I'm a singer. I kind of have been my whole life, and I can't imagine not getting up and doing that. As much as I love singing, it's what I do. There's not much else that I'm very good at, I don't think.
No, you're fabulous.
So I kind of got to keep going.
We want to see more of this, Claire. Now, in 2022, you celebrated 25 years of Steps with a tour and a Platinum Collection album. We need to know what's in store for the 30th anniversary. What can the fans know?
Well, I don't know. I don't think there's anything I can tell you at this point.
Teasing us now. Is that a tease?
I know. We've obviously all our attention is focused on the musical at the moment. It'd be lovely to do something for the 30th, but there are no plans set in stone at the moment. So it would be lovely to do something because it feels like a massive milestone. So, they'll just have to keep watching. Go and see the musical in the meantime. Get your fix there.
Yes.
And then in a couple of years, we'll see.
Absolutely. Claire, thank you so much for joining me on the 6 o'clock show. An absolute pleasure to catch up with you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
That was Claire from Steps. Here and now, the Steps musical comes to the Bord Gáis Energy Theatre for a 2-week run this September. Head on over to bordgashenergytheatre.ie for all of your ticket details. After the break...